Think about having so much money that it would make a family cry. Not happy tears, but tears of something much worse. Simon Cowell is a TV star who is known for having a sharp tongue and even stronger business sense. He is worth more than $300 million. But what if there's a way to get this much money? A decision about the future that could hurt the people he cares about? Simon Cowell's fame is the first thing that comes up in our story. As of 2025, he is crazy rich, worth $600 million. A lot of people pay him a lot of money to judge and run shows like American Idol, Pop Idol, The X Factor, and Got Talent. He also made a lot of money by signing and promoting music stars like Little Mix. But it wasn't always easy for him to get rich. Before he had VIP planes and fancy cars, he almost lost everything. In the early 1980s, he tried to move up in the music business. First with Fanfare Music, and then with ENS Music. He had a hit song with a singer named Sinita in 1986. But his business failed in 1989, and he almost lost everything. He owed the bank a huge amount of money at the time, nearly £500,000. He even had his fancy Porsche repossessed in order to pay his debts. He had no choice but to move back in with his parents. He lost more than just a loss. He lost almost everything he had worked hard for during this bad economic time. He is strong, though. He got better after getting a job at BMG, a big music company. He made S Records, his own record label under BMG, to help find new acts. Robson and Jerome, two actors from a TV show, made a song called Unchained Melody. It went straight to #1 in the UK and stayed there for 7 weeks, selling millions of copies. The two of them sold 7 million records and 5 million songs. Simon said they were the ones who gave him his first $1 million. He also did work with well-known bands like Westlife and Five. But how did a person who owed £500,000 become worth £800,000? 21. He really does have a great sense of who is talented and how to run a TV business. After going on Pop Idol in the UK in 2001 and then American Idol in the US in 2002, he became famous. He was liked because he was blunt, honest, and straight, even when it made some people mad. To begin with, American Idol gave him $8 million a season, but he became well-known very quickly. He was said to be making $36 million a season by 2005. A crazy $45 million was even given to him every season after that, but he quit the show instead. He got at least $24 million from American Idol. He didn't want to be a judge only, though. In 2004, with his new company, Psycho, he made his own show called The X Factor. The Got Talent series, which now includes both America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, was also formed by him. His wealth grew even more because these shows were big hits all over the world. He is said to have made up to $75 million from The X Factor alone in 2012 and 2013. People say that he made about £6 million or £6 for Britain's Got Talent and The X Factor UK. $8 million a season on top of what he already made as a director. Forbes magazine said he made $95 million a year in 2013 and will make $51 million a year in 2020. His shows were big hits, which made for an interesting business trip for his company, Psycho Entertainment. He made a lot of money with Psycho Entertainment. Sony Music bought a lot of Psycho in 2005. Between them, they worked as one business for a long time. Everything worked out great, and a lot of artists got their start on TV shows. In 2020, Simon did something very important, though. Sony Music's share of Psycho Entertainment was bought back by him. He ran TV shows like Got Talent and The X Factor himself. Sony bought Psycho's music business and kept its stars and old songs. Soon after that, Psycho's record label shut down. This string of big business deals is a smart way for Simon to shift his attention. By going back to, he got full control over the most expensive and well-known parts of his empire when he bought the TV shows. He knew that the TV show plans he came up with were the best way to make money and grow his business. He didn't think it was best to run a music label the old way, since the music business had changed. Because he is rich, Simon Cowell lives in some really cool places. His job is just as impressive as the houses he owns. But even these big houses have tales to tell. He lived in a big house in Holland Park, London, for many years. It was worth £45 million. In 2023, he did sell it. Why? He moved out because he no longer felt safe there. In 2015, jewelry and IDs were stolen from Simon while his family slept. In 2012, a woman with a brick broke into his bathroom. Simon was always scared after these scary things happened. People say that thieves sold a copy of his front door lock, even though he spent £500,000 on security. He changed his mind and moved to the country with his son Eric, his partner Lauren Silverman, and their dog. But don't feel too bad for him. Also, there is a beautiful home in Malibu, California, right on the beach. This is a real gem. It has a private tennis court, views of the ocean, and a garage full of supercars. People have said that it's worth between $24 million and $32 million. Simon really enjoys his time in Barbados, and he often goes there for Christmas. He has even used a fancy villa there as the homes for his X Factor judges. This 10-bedroom house, which was listed as Cove Spring House, was for sale for $19.7 million, which is about $25 million in 2020. It has its own beach, a big 75-foot pool, a movie theater, and a gym. Simon even gave the gym their unique workout machine called a power plate. He is said to have looked at the house with the intention of buying it and was planning to pay up to $10 million for it. However, the Cove Spring House is a private home that is hired out when its owner is not there. He loves the island and has stayed in some very fancy places there, but it's not clear if he owns Cove Spring House. He want to settle down there and buy a seaside home, though. Along with his fancy houses, Simon Cowell's love of speed and luxury is clear in his amazing collection of cars. His garage is a dream for people who love cars because it has some of the world's fastest and most expensive cars. It is thought that all of his cars are worth about $1.3 million. A Bugatti Veyron is the most important thing in his collection. This car really goes fast and is a real engineering wonder. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2 seconds thanks to its 1,001 horsepower engine. 5 seconds and can go over 250 miles per hour at its fastest. This cool machine is worth a cool $1 million all by itself. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a very fancy and expensive car. Simon's Phantom is a clear sign of his standing because he often drives it to important events like live auditions. It costs at least $500,000 and is known for having a smooth, quiet ride. Simon has a collection of several Ferraris, which shows how much he loves Italian speed. He also owns a $300,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost and a classic Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3. One of these is a Ferrari California, which costs about £140,000, $170,000. He also has an F430 and a Ferrari 360. The Ferrari 458 Italia is another one. When brand new, it costs about $300,000. He also has a number of Bentleys, which are known for being both luxurious and fast. Two of these are the Bentley Continental GT and the Bentley Continental Convertible, which list prices at around $225,000 each. He has a Bentley Azure too. Simon also owns a number of Jaguars, ranging from classic beauty cars to modern powerhouses. Some of these are the classic Jaguar XK120 and the Jaguar F-Type car, which costs. It costs about $70,000 and is a Jaguar E-Type Series 2. The Jaguar Eagle Speedster, which he owns, is one of his most valuable old cars. It can sell for more than $2 million. He even owns a powerful Lamborghini Urus that costs about $200,000 and a brand new Tesla Model S that is worth $100,000. He even has an Aston Martin DB7 and a small, useful Smart 42. The Smart 42 costs about $20,000, which is his least expensive car. This part of Simon's life shows a different side of him than the tough businessman who only thinks about work. This side enjoys speed, luxury, and fine workmanship for its own sake. Now comes the part of the story that really makes you think, the choice that might make his family cry. Simon Cowell is worth a huge $600 million, but he said something strange about who will get his money. He has made it clear that his son Eric will not get any of his pay. He says this shocking thing because he has a strong opinion about money. He said he would give his money to friends and family, most likely to help kids and dogs. A magazine asked him about this, and he said, I don't believe in that passing on from one generation to another. He thinks that people should leave more than just money, like chances and knowledge. He wants his money to help people, not just his family. Simon does help many groups by giving them a lot of money. He is a vice president of Shooting Star Children's Hospices and helps Together for Short Lives. Animal rights groups like Battersea Dogs Home, RSPCA, and PETA get money from him. He also gives money to the Katie Piper Foundation, which helps people who have been burned. As a supporter for the famous Great Ormond Street Hospital for Children, he has helped raise money for the 2010 earthquake victims in Haiti. He also gives to other good causes, like Hope Sanctuary Barbados and Help for Heroes. The founder of a charity called the Wildlife Aid Foundation is also named Simon Cowell. He began Simon's last wish after being told that he had lung cancer that would not come back. This is not the music mogul Simon Cowell, though. Sharing your kindness can make a big difference in the lives of many people. He has talked about how having Eric in 2014 changed his life a lot. This choice about his will is even more interesting because of this. He said that having a child changed his life. He even said that he was obsessed after seeing Eric's scan for the first time in person. Life looked very different to me after that. He thinks about Eric every time he makes a choice. Lauren Silverman, his partner, also said that he learned more about life after having a child. Something is very strange about this situation. She asked, "What's the point of having all this if you don't have someone you want to share it with?" Simon told God ahead of time that he was going to give all of his money to charity. He did this because he strongly believed that you could be great on your own and also help other people. He did say that when Eric came into his life, it changed how he felt and what he wanted to do. If having a child has made him kinder, has that meant he has changed his mind about his will? Or if his strong views about family wealth will win out in the end, Eric won't get any of his huge wealth directly? This is what the title wants to know. Because of this, he is worried about what will happen to his money in the future. UK estate tax rules are another thing that makes things hard to understand. Simon has a lot of good things there. If someone has a lot of money, they may have to pay taxes on up to 40% of anything over a certain amount. This rate can go down to 36%, though, if the land is worth 10% more than what was paid for it. Trusts are official plans that can also help you pay less in taxes. Simon is one of those people who wants to leave their estate to charity because they believe in it. But for people with a lot of money, the tax breaks are real and useful. Simon Cowell is famous and strong, but he still has to deal with tough issues and public drama. He's been through a lot that most people wouldn't expect to change his life. He passed out and fell down the stairs at his London home in 2017. Doctors finally said it was because of low blood pressure. They shocked him and taught him that he's not strong enough to beat anyone. He promised to take better care of himself for Eric's sake. Plus, Simon has been in 2 really bad crashes with electric bikes that were really powerful. In August 2020, he broke his back when he hit the ground while riding a brand new electric bike at home in Malibu. A metal rod was put in his back during an 8-hour surgery that fixed it. The crash even hurt his nerves in a way that will last for a long time. During the lockdown, he said the accident was meant to happen so that he could see how weak he was and get better. Even after what happened, he still loves his bikes. He was in another bad e-bike crash in 2022. Most likely, these health scares, especially the time he fell and hurt his back badly, made Simon think about what's important in his life. It's likely that the pain and time it took to heal made him think more about himself. He might have thought more deeply about his heritage, or it could have made his friendship with Eric stronger and caused him to rethink his plans for his money. It's possible that these life-threatening events changed his beliefs a lot, which in turn changed how he treated his family and money. This makes his wealth even stranger. People knew Simon as a judge who said mean things in a direct way. He would often say, "I'm sorry for being rude," before yelling at other people. On American Idol, he did a good job of being called a bad guy. He called them bush babies, or said they were the worst singers in the world to make fun of their weight. He was well known for telling William Hung he couldn't dance or sing. His manager, Max Clifford, helped him make himself look tough so that he would get a lot of attention. There were also a lot of problems with them after the shows were over. Some people thought that stage scenes that were meant to make people feel bad used too many sad stories. There were also issues with the way that marketers' goods were shown. Some things that were shown way too often were Nokia phones and hotels. Some contestants thought they were lied to or used on TV. One contestant on the X Factor UK said that the managers made him feel bad to get him to show more emotion, and they even forced him to say he was gay on stage before he was ready. The fact that Simon's personal life was also in the news made things even more exciting. In 2013, he found out that Lauren Silverman, his friend's wife, was going to have his child. Simon's name was on the papers her husband sent to get a divorce. They got along in the end and didn't have to go to court. On Valentine's Day, 2014, their son Eric was born. Simon Cowell made a lot of money from nothing. He was even broke at one point, but now he's one of the richest people in show business. He makes a lot of money. His homes and cars are out of this world. He has had bad luck with his health and problems with the people, while becoming known all over the world. Still, the question remains, will his family really cry over this huge amount of money? Not because it was sad, but because it made a terrible decision about its future. Simon's strong desire to help others, his long-held beliefs about property, and the life-changing event of becoming a father all make it hard to say what will happen to his money in the end. There are a lot of guesses about what Simon Cowell will do in the end, because the last part of his financial story hasn't been told yet. Will he stick to his belief that getting rich through inheritance is bad? So, will he give to charity instead, which would give power to people he doesn't know? Will his love for Eric, his only son, be greater than those thoughts? If so, he may change his mind in a private but important way. This isn't your normal family wealth, that's for sure. This legacy includes strong senses, fame all over the world, and big changes in how people feel. They got rich by working hard for many years, taking risks, and having a public image that made people like and hate them. Simon Cowell's life is getting less busy now that he spends more time with his family, heals from health scares, and stays away from the press. It gets more important to ask what comes next. Eric Cowell is still very young. What kind of world will he leave behind, both in terms of money and morals? Will he stay as fiercely independent as his father, or will he have to make his own mark on the world without the money that seemed destined for him? Simon Cowell is a strong and sure of himself man, but sometimes he has to make very personal and emotional decisions. Giving something as a gift isn't just about money, it's also about value. Instead of the money he made or the fancy cars he drove, Simon may be most proud of the people he changed through his shows, his charities, and most of all, the boy who changed him. The mystery won't be solved until the last papers are signed and the will is made public. One thing is for sure, Simon Cowell's story isn't just about money. People leave behind more than just money. They leave behind the love of the people they care about.